generations and across borders. And to tell us all about connecting Rotary with alumni and youth, please give a big welcome to Brittany Arthur.
Hi everybody, how is everyone? Are you enjoying this morning? I am so excited to be home. I am Australian despite my mixed accent. I live between Berlin and Tokyo. However, Melbourne is my home and always has been, particularly District 9810, and yes, District 9810, and the Rotary Club of Cheltenham. Yeah. I'd now like to talk to you a little bit about Rotary and youth. So Victoria, for the New South Wales and ACT and the Queenslanders, maybe you don't know this, but our motto is the place to be. And this is exactly, when I introduce Rotary, what I say. Because over the last 13 years that I've been involved in Rotary, I've heard many elevator pitches. 1.2 million members, international projects, and everything, but nothing really stuck. I'm the past president of the Rotary Club of Berlin, and if anyone has been to Berlin, you know that the city is dynamic. You can go to a culture conference on a Tuesday night, you can go to a techno club, you can go to a new opening of a restaurant, you can do anything. Which means, if you're a Rotary Club in Berlin, your competition is not the other Rotary Club, rather the city itself. And this, my friends in Rotary, I'd like to tell you, is all of our competition. It's not, oh, well, we're better than that club. That club's terrible. At least we're better than them. That's not it. What we need to do is to be the best place to be. So when someone says to me, Rotary, that's odd, you're not old or a man, why do you go to Rotary? I say, because it's the place to be on a Tuesday night if you're in Berlin. And so when someone says, well, where are you going? And I say, I'm going to the best place to be on a Tuesday night. They say, wait, can I come? I say, sure, come on. So let's talk about Rotary and youth. And I thought, okay, we've got the Interact Forum later on this afternoon. Are there any interactors here, or are they at another seminar? Interact, make some noise if you're here. Okay. Yes, there we go. So we're going to talk about different things this afternoon. I'm going to talk to the Rotary about different things, so bear with me. So I thought, okay, who's in our room? Who can we make this relevant to? So rather than talking about Rotary and youth, today we're going to talk about Rotary and you. What you can do, because I think every single person in this room is a motivated Rotarian. If you're a motivated Rotarian, you're not in this room. If you're not a motivated Rotarian, you're not in this room. So let's talk about what we can do. I'm not here to say get youth involved, because you know that. What I'm here to do is to give you some tangible, actionable items that you can do today. So before we talk about Rotary, let's talk about what young people are looking for, because I often hear this, Brittany, young people don't have time for Rotary. And I say that's not true. We don't have time for Thursday afternoon meetings, but we certainly do have time for Rotary. I'm not sure if any of you came in through the same way as I did this morning, but I was walking through the foyer and there were hundreds of young people lining up to a conference. And I thought, they're not coming to our conference. My heart sank. I want to see these people at our conference. So if they're getting up on a Saturday morning and they don't have to, well, they can come to our events, can't they? What they're looking for in their lives is they're looking, and then I saw the company that they were with, and it was a company called Team One. Looked it up online. It's a mentorship organization for entrepreneurs. And I thought, if only you knew who was sitting next door and the kinds of resources available to you. These young people next door, and this data is from a survey done by PricewaterhouseCoopers, young people looking for 4 things in their careers, in their career paths. The first thing is to work with a mentor. The reason this is highly important is because we are now from the generation that we do not have lifetime employment anymore. What we have is we have project-based employment. We work in projects. We do consultancy jobs. We don't enter a company and then 35 years later retire. We're interested in project-based engagement. Because of the nature of our jobs, we don't commit to 10-year positions. We're looking for short project-based work because the millennials, we're looking for projects where we are inspired and all of these millennial things. The third thing is we're looking for a place where we can grow as a person and a professional. Millennials are willing to take a pay cut for a rise in quality of life. This is new. The last thing that we're looking for is we're looking for collaboration and team dynamics, working with people who are different from us. So let's walk through this, shall we? The first being working with a mentor. This photo was taken at one of my Rotaract projects, which the two kids in this photo are from a children's home in Berlin that we have supported now for 16 years. And we take them away for a weekend every single year. Now, how many of you have children? Raise your hand. How many have grandchildren? Raise your hand. Okay, we took away 50 at one time. I don't have any children, but 50 at once was quite something. And these two kids said, okay, Brittany, we want to go out on the boat. However, we're not allowed to go out unless we have an adult. And I said, okay, our Rotary Club is here. And I went to turn around and I thought, I'm the adult. So I said, okay, let's get in the boat and see how we go. Rotary is the place not only to be mentored, which I've had countless opportunities, but it's also the place to become a mentor. And when we talk about project-based engagement, if you were to ask me, Brittany, can you please be the district chair of our district foundation chair for the next 10 years? I don't know if I'd be able to say yes currently with my job. However, project-based engagement, every year we take 50 kids away for 16 years. Can you do that? Yes. I can commit to a weekend, absolutely. And we've been doing this, the one side is 2015, and the last one was last year, and this is the same girl. There's something very special that you see, instead of just packing backpacks or these kinds of projects. Investing in people, seeing them grow, is one of the most beautiful things I've experienced in my Rotaract career. Rotary is a place to engage in projects that makes you a better person and makes, as Ian said last year, a difference. Now I'd like to talk to you about personal and professional growth. Both of these girls in this photo are Rotary alumni. Cynthia, who's not the blonde one, that's me, Cynthia's the other one. Cynthia is a Rotary Ambassador Scholar and studied ethical business at the London School of Economics. She went on to found a very successful fashion company, which is the blazer she's wearing there, the blazer I'm wearing today, and the white shirt, which is an innovative material made of sustainable tree wood that is currently silk, that was processed into silk. She works with factories that have undeniable high levels of work, that respect their workers, and if it's cheaper but worse for the environment, she says no. Cynthia, I found on LinkedIn. When I was the vice chair of our alumni committee, I thought, wait a second, I'm sick of waiting on information from Evanston. Sat down, I said, who is in my area right now? I want to know. Cynthia had listed in her LinkedIn profile that she was an alumni, and I reached out to her and said, hi Cynthia, this is Brittany. I also was an alumni. Maybe you want to catch up. And we since then became very good friends and ambassadors of each other's businesses. And since then, we often joke that it was almost like online dating. Rotary is the place to grow as a person and a professional. In Cynthia, I found not only a friend, but I found a business partner. And then I'd like to move on to collaboration and team dynamics. This was taken at our headquarters in Evanston. We had Fernando, who was representing Latin America. Me, I always represent APEC in some way, shape, or form. Nike was representing Eastern Europe, and Laura representing Western Europe. I have never fought as much in that committee, but I've never had as much fun as in that committee. And working in these kinds of teams where you work beyond yourself is all about, which is exactly what Rotary is all about. It's the place to work with friends who encourage you to do better. Not necessarily agree with you, but works with you to do better. So this is what millennials are looking for in their careers, in their lives. Working with a mentor, project-based engagement, a place to be a better person and professional, and collaboration. Now, these 4 elements sound intimate to Rotary, if I'm not wrong. Does anyone here think that these 4 things we can achieve and we can offer here at Rotary to young people? If you can, please clap your hands. Now clap your hands like this is really what we do. There we go. And people say, young professionals don't have time for Rotary. This is only half true. I don't have my job in spite of Rotary. I have my job because of Rotary. I work in business development for Japanese companies, or usually for daughter companies in Japan for larger multinationals. My job is to train, at the moment I'm contracted to train 1,000 Japanese consultants in Japanese in a new consulting methodology. I was actually joking in the tea break that the very first time anyone had asked me to use my Japanese skills was with Peter and Marilyn Muri back in 2003, where they said, oh, we have an exchange students brothers here. We're going to ScienceWorks. Can you come and order some McDonald's for them or something? And I said, yes, of course I can. That was the very first time I'd ever used Japanese, and now it's my job. So I don't have my work with Rotary is not, I don't have my job in spite of Rotary, rather because of Rotary. Design thinking, which is the methodology that we use, is based on 3 principles. The first one being human-centered innovation. So we design for people, with people. The second is collaboration and diversity. I have worked through Rotary with age diversity, racial diversity, gender diversity, any kind of diversity you could possibly imagine. I've experienced through Rotary, and I've learned how to work in teams that are different and how to use the difference to make something good. And the third thing is rapid prototyping. So we build 5 prototypes a month per group times 18 months. We've built close to 100 new business models, and we've tested them in the last 18 months. This is all things that I've done because of my experience in Rotary. I had the opportunities to speak at the convention in 2017 in Atlanta, and then more recently I had the opportunity to support Ian and Juliet in their presidential year in what, Ian, arguably best convention yet? The only difference is between me, who flies in on a Thursday night or flies in on a Thursday morning from Tokyo to be with you today because this is my home and being with you is my home, and others who don't, is because a few people actively stayed in contact with me. They didn't wait for Rotary International, they didn't wait for Evanston. Peter Muri said, hey, can you come and maybe help us use your Japanese with these kids? And I said, of course I can. And then Ian said, Brittany, we have this opportunity that maybe you'd like to MC in front of 20,000 people. And I said, okay, let's do it. If they had said, Brittany, when you feel ready to MC in front of 25,000 people, give me a call, Ian would still be waiting. If Peter had said, Brittany, when you feel excited about, if you feel that you'd be able to use your Japanese to help us with these boys, he'd probably still be waiting too. 2 Rotarians, or particularly, and then when Juliet and Ian, and both Peter and Marilyn, have been instrumental in my professional life, and as well as my personal life. These 4 Rotarians have said, jump before you're ready, because we'll catch you no matter what. And this is what Rotary is about. It's not about finding the alumni and telling them, when you feel ready, give me a call. It's about saying, looking past experience and looking to potential. Instead of saying, Brittany, have you had experience of have you been an MC in front of 25,000 people before? No. I think you can do it. I'll be there if anything goes wrong. We need to look beyond experience and towards potential. And how do we do that? there are 6 points that we're going to do that, and I wanted to walk through them today. The first is we need to create a personalised Rotary experience. Now, what does that mean? I was speaking with some colleagues, and they said, this Rotary thing, what is it? And I was talking to them a little bit about what we do, and I told them about a recent national project that we're running in Germany, where we pack school backpacks completely finished, and then we send them to schools who need it. So any single child has in their bag a full year's of school supplies. And they said, well, anyone can pack a backpack. Why should I go? And I thought, well, I don't know. I didn't have a good answer. They then went on to say, they said, I specialize in AI. I specialize in finance. If you said you needed someone to manage the financials of the project, I'd come. And I thought, exactly. If someone said, if you need to build an app, I'll build it. We can't go and say this is the project. We need to break the project down and say, which part of this project do you want to use your skills and be a part of it? Maybe you're an accountant. Maybe you're a lawyer. Maybe you're in software. Use your particular skills in our global projects. We need to fully leverage technology. And it doesn't need to be difficult. It just needs to be someone standing here with their phone recording sessions. The next time that you have an incredible speaker at your club, and I can already tell you our next speaker, Dr. Edna, is an incredible speaker. Every single person pull out your phone, and I want you to record her speech because it's heartwarming. And I want you to share it with your club. We need to use technology in a way not to distance people, but to connect people. And this, Rotarians, I need to say, we need to talk about transparency. Millennials are obsessed with achievement. We're obsessed with career paths and growing. We don't know how to become Rotary International President. There's no path. How do we become district governor? How can I become a director? I don't know. What do I need to do? If we had some kind of idea about how decisions are made, we might be able to get more involved. So I would encourage that look at your club and say, how does someone become president in our club? And then communicate that. We also need to look at building a sense of community. You're talking to a group of people who share what they had for breakfast. You're talking to a group of people who say, look, there's the sun today. I know, I saw it too. This is who you're talking to. We want to feel connected. We want to feel like we're a part of something bigger. And guess what? Rotary's work is already doing that. But more than anything, I'd encourage you to not do it on your own. I want you to find an alumni champion, and I want you to work with them. Because maybe you invite 100 people to a Rotary Club meeting, and maybe only 2 come back. And then you do that again. You invite another 100 people, only 2 come back. If you invite 100 people, connect with a single alumni, and that alumni then goes and finds specific people in their community that they know who'd be interested in Rotary, you're working smart. And that's what we need to do a little bit better. And as millennials, we're an agile workforce. We're not going to, I can already tell you, I'm very sorry, we're not going to be able to take on positions for 5 years. However, we are certainly able to stay involved for our entire lives if you give us the flexibility. For example, every single weekend we take these kids away or once a year we take these kids away for a weekend. I can commit to that, but maybe I can't commit to every single Tuesday. So the next time you meet someone and they ask you what Rotary is, and you say something like, well, are you interested in working with a mentor? Do you like working in projects? Are you interested in becoming a better person and professional? Do you like working in teams? You can say, Rotary is the place to be. And then I want you to say, the best place to be on a Tuesday night or whenever your club meets. But before I go, I'd just like to share with you one thing. Firstly, I'd like to thank every single Rotarian in this room, particularly Peter and Marilyn Murray and Ian and Juliette Risley, who have been instrumental in my Rotary journey and my professional journey. And I want you to know that you're not alone in this journey. Maybe you need help with alumni, which is why I have my email address up there. I know I'm getting myself into trouble by doing this. Please take a photo. If any of you need support in developing an alumni strategy, in thinking how do we make the first step, The first step is in the coffee break, I want you to pull out your phone, and in an email, I want you to write in the subject line, coffee ? And in the body of the text, I want you to send to one of your alumni, how are you? When are you free for a coffee? And this is the way that Rotary is going to stay engaged with youth, because Rotary's offer is attractive. What we need to do is deliver it in a way that's accessible and not on a Tuesday at 12 p.m. And I'd like to make this commitment that if there's anything that I personally can do to support you in your clubs, I want you to let me know, because Rotary is not the place to be simply to become the person that you want to be when you're ready. Rotary is the platform for young people to achieve both personal, social, and professional success. And that's what they're looking for. And guys, we're already doing it. All we need to do is communicate it. And if there's anything I can do to support, you know I'm here ready to help. And on that note, enjoy the rest of your conference, and I'll see you all in the coffee break.